Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are making super happy, awesome, fun time food. Okay, that was a little too much, I guess. Either way, chicken Riggies. I've been told by a couple different people, one of them I work with recently said, what are even chicken Riggies? Not her exact words, but they are kind of a local thing. I believe they started in Utica, but then someone also said that they started in Syracuse. I figured just to avoid the argument, they started in Utica and or Syracuse. I live kind of in the middle of those two, so around here it's kind of like a staple. Pretty much every restaurant makes their own version of it. And after trying every single version in this local area, I have made my own. This is how I make my chicken Riggies. This is basically what chicken Riggies is. It is a chicken and a tomato cream sauce with cherry peppers, hot cherry peppers. You can make it mild, medium, super spicy. I'm doing a mild and a super spicy today. I'm going to make our own sauce using diced tomatoes, tomato paste, pitted olives, Cuban peppers, mushrooms. We're using baby bellas. And to make it the cream sauce, we're using heavy cream. However, make it even better, extra creamy, because I like creamy sauces, cream cheese. You add cream cheese, it adds a whole nother level to the entire dish. And that's one of the things that I changed big time. Now, the Cuban you can do a number of different ways. I'll show you the way that I do everything, and I'm going to get to cutting right now. You need to dice the chicken first. So grab yourself a nice sharp blade. Just strips about, you'll see. There's some of that over there. Since it's in a sauce, you don't really need to worry too much about the fat on there. You can always trim it if you would like to. It's not a very difficult thing to do as you're going through. It's probably easier to trim it before you start dicing it though. Well, it is easier to trim it before you start dicing it. Unless you want to dice through the sides. Just gonna have a really long video of me cutting chicken. It's going to be how this is gonna go. Yeah. Alright, and once we're done dicing, we can get to cutting the rest of the stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and jump cut. See y'all in just a second. Alright, there's our chicken. It's all diced up. It's kind of cute big because when you get a piece, you definitely want a nice good chunk. You can make it smaller if that's what you prefer. I kind of like having the bigger pieces because, well, more texture. It's a good texture to go along with the macaroni, which would be rigatoni's. One of the items I forgot to mention. Rigatones. Alright, I'm going to go wash off my cutting board and my blade, and we'll start cutting up the vegetables. Now with the Cubanelles, I've seen it done two different ways. This one, we're going to do it like this. Then generally you're going to want to take out the seeds, which is not a whole lot in a Cubanelle. So that makes life easy, and they smell so good. They really do. They have a strong flavor. This one we're splitting between the two pots, and the other two we're going to do separately for the individual pot that they're going to go into. This is, in one way, they do it like this. And they just have long strips in there. Of course, you could always cut that in half. Do small strips. But then I've also seen, set that off to the side, I'll finish that off camera. make rings. Which, Cubanelles have kind of a waxy outside. That's the reason why the blade doesn't want to go through that easy. There we go. Now, I like doing it like this myself because when you serve it up and you get one of these, it just looks really pretty. So this is going to go into the hot pot. And for the not so hot pot, I'm going to take it and I'm going to do strips for the whole thing. Alright, I got everything all cleaned back up again. It's time to do the mushrooms. I'm just going to do one or two to show you how I'm going to get them done. Because in the sauce, now there's all sorts of sized mushrooms, but we're going to do it basically the same thing with everyone. I lost it. We're just going to kind of cut them thick. So they don't melt away in the sauce. Now, if you don't like mushroom, you don't need mushroom. Like with a lot of the ingredients in this thing, if you don't like it, you don't need it. All you really need is tomato sauce, tomato paste, and heavy cream. And chicken. And then you need some sort of pepper, otherwise it's not true chicken Riggies. So that's basically it. Just a decent for that. We also need an onion, which I almost forgot about. Again, last time I didn't even put the onion in. Totally forgot. Still tasted great. But let me grab that onion real quick. Alrighty, so we have a nice little onion here. Whoop. Whoop. Okay, we have half an onion. And that's about how you want to cut the onion. Just in strips. That's going to just accent the peppers quite nicely. They'll mostly cook down in the sauce, which is definitely what you want. Because onions can definitely overpower any sauce. I'm only using half an onion per pot. So, if you were to make this at home, chances are you'd only make one pot. So you just use, half an onion. Or a small onion would work too. This is about a medium to a large size onion. Alrighty, next up is the hot cherry peppers, the fun bit. Alright, here we go. We're on to the hot cherry peppers. Now, if you want a mild spice, you're going to want to use 2 whole cherry peppers, seeds included. You just cut the top off, then you just slice it down like that. That's just going to cook into the sauce and give it that flavor that it needs. So for one of the pots, it gets that. Seeds and all. It's going to get this one, seeds and all. Another way that you can do it is if you want to do like rings. Just ring it out, man. Ring it out. And that's plenty enough for one pot. Now in the hot pot, like 5 of those things are going in. And they definitely have a good spice to them. Alrighty. Alright, those hot cherry peppers I got, they say hot. So I was like, well, let me just make sure so I can gauge the spice right. So I grabbed one with seeds and all. Now I'm like, that's a really good banana pepper. No spice. It's got a decent flavor to it, but no spice. So I pulled out my secret stash in the fridge. These will make a grown man cry. I don't even trust putting a whole piece in my mouth. Oh yeah. That's got me sweating already. So, these going to the hot one. I'll leave those for that one. So like I said, it's got a decent flavor. Throw a couple more of those over here. But yeah, we're going to be using this for the hot pot. The red ones. I'm wondering if it's just that the red ones are always hotter, or what's going on there. Because there's green ones in that one too, but I don't know. Alright, now the fun part comes. The cooking part. We're going to put a little bit of oil up in there. Small tiny bit. Not too much, not too little. And we're going to take our chicken. Yep, we're going to take our chicken. And we're just going to put that chicken right up in that oil. Put about half of it in. We're going to have to do the other half in a separate cooking. Yeah. Half and half. Good reason why. You overfill the pan, it'll take forever to cook. Put in just enough, it'll cook pretty quick. Our chicken's done. Once it's done, we're just going to move it into the next section, which is going to be in the pot that's going to spend the rest of its cooking time in. The pots are not currently on, so I lose some chicken on the floor. That is now garbage. There's easier ways of doing this. For instance, we'll just cook up that. Did I forget to mention that we have to cut up some black olives? Alright, you'll want to strain your black olives. And I personally like to slice mine in rings. The bigger the olive you get, the easier it is to slice them. So I always get the colossal olives. If you don't like olives, you don't need them. But it is one of the few things I've noticed as in pretty much every restaurant I've had chicken Riggies in, they've had black olives in, and I kind of enjoy it in them. It gives a nice, oh, I don't even know how to explain that one. But it is nice. I'm not a big fan of olives, but it just works in chicken Riggy sauce. It is now finally time to start with the sauce. The one over here is slightly shorter. They're both 8-quart pots. This is wider and shorter. This is taller. The taller one's going to be the mild one. This one's going to be the hot one. Put a whole thing of mushrooms in each. Two cans of sliced olives in each. Peppers and onions in each. Hot cherry peppers. Just a little bit in the mild. Plenty in the hot pot. Tablespoon of garlic in each. 2 cups of heavy cream in each.
If it's this bad here, you can imagine what the storm surge is like
A whole brick of cream cheese in each pot as well. 16 ounces per brick. Ah, could have been bad. And there we go. 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes per each. It's going to be more like a stew than a sauce, I think. But that's the way I like it. Well, all those vegetables are going to render their moisture. And everything is just going to combine and it's going to be amazing. Now this is going to sit on a medium low heat for about, I want to say 2 hours, stirring relatively frequently until you have a sauce. That's what it looks like now. Let me mix it up and then I'll show you what it looks like. I just realized that's a bad example. This is what it looks like before the vegetables and the cream cheese melts and cooks down. It already smells really good. It's going to be super creamy and super flavorful. Alright, it's been about 2 hours and the sauce is pretty much done. I need to let it simmer for another hour or so for it to thicken. But that's what it looks like. I did add a can of tomato paste. And I added an additional can of the petite diced tomatoes. I have to admit to that one. Because it wasn't enough for the sauce. Because I wanted more. More sauce is always better. Just for that one. My girls just got home from school. So shortly I will be putting some noodles on so we can eat dinner. And that's what we're having. It's going to be awesome. Alrighty. Next you'll see it plated. It is all done.
This is our necklace.
It's all plated. We're all down here so the girls are eating and the peeps are all everywheres and stuff. We're going to try this, tell you what we think. This is the spicy one. Probably not going to try the mild because, well, we like spicy. Although my youngest is devouring the mild one. So.
It was just off the stove. Mmm. Very good.
Steal a bite off from her plate.
Mmm. That was very good.
Try to get a little bit of everything here. Some mushroom tea. Yeah. And a rigatoni.
This is our necklace.
Do you want to go bye-bye with Grandma? You got to eat your pasta. Eat the pasta with your gravy. Here you go. You got to eat or else you're not going.
I want water.
Chicken super tender. Super tasty. Plenty of flavor. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like this recipe, if you like the video, if you like my family, like this video. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you guys next time.
And as always, eat happy.
Bye.